A man who has been accused of wounding 16-year-old Ralph Yarl after Yarl went to the wrong house has been identified and will be charged. There's a warrant out for his arrest, and also identified, as I mentioned, as 85-year-old Andrew Lester. So Clay County prosecutor Zachary Thompson, in a Monday press conference, had identified and mentioned that there is a warrant issued for his arrest on 2 felony charges. So first, let's go with what happened. Basically, the 16-year-old had went to pick up his younger brothers from a friend's house on April 13th. However, he ended up going to the wrong house. Lack of directions, didn't have their phone, didn't have his phone, pulled into the driveway of the wrong house. In fact, the house that they were looking for is actually on 115th Terrace, but he had mistakenly went to 115th Street, which was just a block away. When he knocked on the door, a man had opened it up, looked Ralph in the eye. This is according to Ralph's aunt, Faith Spoonmore, said, the man allegedly said, "Don't ever come back here," and then shot him in the head. And then when he was on the ground, the man shot him again. I mean, it's absolutely horrifying. This story, I could not imagine. The only bright side here is that Ralph Yarl has survived miraculously and is making a recovery. But holy hell. Now, Lester apparently will face charges of assault, first-degree assault, and armed criminal action. Why not attempted murder? Well, Thompson explains that, well, the possible sentence under the assault is the more severe charge. Wait, more severe than attempted murder? That's, look, I don't know. That seems strange. And look, this is not the only question, by the way, that has circulated around this case. So the family, for example, was like, hey, why wasn't Lester arrested like as soon as possible last week? That's when this happened. What happened? Now, just now there's a warrant out. Now there's charges. What's going on here? So now, according to civil rights attorney Lee Merritt, one of the lawyers who represents Yarl's family, along with Benjamin Crump, said in a social media post that Ralph gave a bedside interview to investigators while hospitalized on Friday. That appears to contradict the narrative offered by police that no arrest had been made because cops had thus far been unable to take a victim statement. So the cops clearly seem to have lied here. Not seem to, they lied. Gee, I wonder why they lie. Merritt also said the alleged shooter was detained for 2 hours, not 24, as KCPD Chief Stacey Graves had previously said. 2 hours! Quote, "I cannot say for certain why the appropriate arrest hadn't been made by law enforcement," Merritt said. "I can say with absolute certainty the excuses being offered are not true." What do you know? Cops lying again? Weird. Wow. Now, could there be a racial component here? Well, according to Thompson, there is, at least maybe in the motive for the shooting, even though no motive has been officially released yet. But here's the other thing, okay? So, look, there are the questions around, of course, the police response to it, obviously, and okay. But what's worse here, the thing that bothers me even more so than that, and there's a lot here that bothers me, so, like, don't take that as me trying to minimize this, but nobody apparently helped him. Now, Spoonmore says that her nephew had to get up and run to 3 different neighbors' homes for help. When finally reaching the 3rd house, someone agreed to help them only after forcing him at gunpoint to put his hands up and lie on the ground. Remember, he was shot. He was shot. Twice. Bleeding. And instead of, oh my God, are you okay? Holy hell. Yeah, we got to get you some help. It's, get on the ground. As if he is the criminal here. I mean, he's a kid that went to the wrong freaking house. What is going on? He wasn't trying to break in. He was there to pick up his siblings. Got the directions wrong. Happens all the time. Happens to me. Oh, I'm terrible with directions. But I've never been shot in the face for it. Well, I think there's a reason. I think it's pretty obvious. Now, Michael Kelly, a family friend, told the Daily Beast that he was baffled by the shooting. Quote, "This is your neighbor." Adding that he definitely felt that racism was a factor. If this is a white woman at night, would the neighbor have shot her? I 100% doubt it. As I mentioned, investigators on Sunday said that they did not have the evidence that it was racially motivated. Come on. But another neighbor who wished to remain anonymous told the Daily Beast that the race was a component and mentioned Ferguson. Ferguson was here. It just sucks. I hope the shooter gets charged. Regardless of what his reasoning was for doing it, there's no reason to ever do that to somebody. The neighbor also mentioned that the neighborhood is mixed, saying that there are kids of all races living there, and yet the street names are confusing. Mail is delivered to the wrong homes on a regular basis, so it would be easy for a person to confuse one for the other, according to the neighbor. I just want to make sure that the world doesn't think every neighbor here is okay with this shit happening. In a statement on Monday, North Kansas City Schools Superintendent Dan Clemens described Ralph as an excellent student and talented musician, maintaining a stellar GPA while taking mostly college-level courses. While he loves science and hopes to pursue that career path, his passion is music. Thankfully, we know he is now recovering alongside family. So, look, I hope he is able to fully recover and is able to excel. He seems like an incredibly bright kid with an incredible future, and I'm glad that was not cut short. But I'll tell you, if this happened to me, I would be scarred for life. Oh, absolutely. Couldn't imagine the amount of fear that this kid's going to feel for the rest of his life as he grows up. Not knowing that, hey, if I knock on the wrong door as the wrong color, someone is going to shoot me in the face. Because they're going to think that they're justified in murdering me. Because unfortunately, that's what the culture is. And look, I'm going to speculate, but I'm probably going to be right about it. What are the odds that this guy constantly watches Fox News and is convinced that Black Lives Matter thugs are coming to rob him or kill him? Come on, we know that that's probably the case. I would bet on it. I could almost guarantee that he's a fan. I can't really find any other explanation as to why someone would do something like this. To open up the door and blast a kid in the face for no reason. Other than deep-seated racism, hatred, and fear of the other. This is unfortunately what's going on in this country. What continues to happen. And it's just absolutely horrifying. So now, if you're wondering how you can help, there's a GoFundMe link that I'm going to put in the description of the video for his medical expenses. Kid's got enough to worry about for the rest of his life without having to worry about paying a massive medical bill, because you know how this country is when it comes to healthcare. So if you could donate or spread the word, help the family, it would be much appreciated. This kid deserves every bit of help that we can send his way.